The night on Earth was quiet, calm, and peaceful. Cities glowed softly, and people lived their normal lives, not knowing that something impossible was happening far above them, high in the dark sky, beyond satellites, beyond the moon, and even beyond the reach of human imagination. A massive alien warship drifted silently. Its surface was covered with strange symbols, sharp panels, and glowing blue lines that pulsed like veins. Inside the ship, the atmosphere was tense. The alien commanders stood around a large holographic table. Blue light shined on their metallic skin. Their eyes were cold and emotionless. They belonged to a powerful empire known across the stars. For centuries, they had conquered weak planets easily. Every world they touched fell under their rule. They believed no species could resist them. Tonight, they wanted a new target. The hologram showed many planets, each circling different stars. The aliens studied the list carefully. They searched for a quiet, small, unprotected world. Easy to attack, easy control, easy to break. Then something happened. One alien officer tapped the screen without paying attention. A tiny golden marker jumped to another name, Earth. The alien leader looked at the planet's data. Small, blue, mostly water. Population, humans. Threat level, unknown. He laughed. Is this the world? He asked. Another officer nodded. Yes, Commander. It appears simple. Primitive technology, divided nations, emotional creatures. They should be easy to dominate. No one questioned the mistake. No one checked twice. To them, Earth was nothing more than a forgotten world with a weak species living on it. But they were wrong. The warship prepared a broadcast message. Panels opened. Lights brightened. A deep, vibrating sound filled the command room. The aliens stood proudly. For them, this was routine. Another planet. Another victory. On Earth, every screen suddenly flickered. Phones, TVs, radios, billboards. Everything went dark for a moment. People stopped in confusion. Then a strange symbol appeared. 3 circles spinning around each other. A voice followed. Attention, humans. You've been chosen. Prepare to serve the Empire. Panic spread instantly. People screamed. Cars stopped. Soldiers everywhere rushed to bases. Leaders from every country activated emergency protocols. The world had never experienced something like this. No human country had sent this message. No device on Earth could produce this kind of signal. Everyone asked the same question. Who sent it? In space. The alien commander watched Earth's reaction and smiled. Look at them. They fear us already. But the truth was different. Humans were afraid for a moment, yes. They were shocked, yes. But then something strange began to happen. Something the aliens did not expect. Humans got angry. On Earth, people started to unite. Old enemies shook hands. Military commanders shared intelligence. Scientists gathered in secret underground labs. Governments connected through one secure global network. For the first time in history, the entire planet acted like a single team. The aliens mistook fear for weakness. They mistook silence for surrender. But humans had faced far worse threats before. Natural disasters, wars, diseases, and their own dangerous planet. Earth was not a soft world. Earth was not a safe world. Earth was a death world, a planet so harsh that only the toughest species could survive. Humans did not know this term, but the galaxy did. The alien commander watched Earth's defenses activating. Strange aircraft launched from hidden bases. Satellites formed new patterns. Energy signatures changed rapidly. Why are they preparing to fight? An officer asked. Because they are stubborn creatures, the commander replied. Break their spirit and the rest will be easy. But again, he was wrong. Deep inside a secret mountain facility, a group of scientists activated something that no alien knew about. A hidden emergency signal meant only for one purpose: contacting Earth's most powerful and secret defense program. A massive door opened. Inside was a ship that no human civilian had ever seen. Its dark surface absorbed light. It carried weapons never tested in open space. It was built for only one mission: protect Earth at any cost. The ship powered up. Engines rumbled softly. Lights came alive. The ship's AI spoke. Defense Protocol Alpha ready. No one knew if it would work, but they had no choice. As the ship rose in the underground launch tunnel, it broke through the clouds like a black arrow firing into the sky. People below felt a shockwave and looked up, confused and afraid, but also hopeful. In space, the alien sensors detected the launch. A human vessel approaches, an officer reported. The alien commander frowned. Impossible. They should not have this technology. The human ship continued to rise, its thrusters glowing bright. Its design was strange, smooth, sharp edging covered with deep blue lines. It looked like something made for war, not exploration. The aliens decided to intercept it. Send the drones, the commander ordered. Small metallic drones shot out of the alien warship and raced toward the human ship like a swarm of deadly insects. They surrounded it, ready to capture or destroy it. But the human ship didn't slow down. It didn't run. Instead, a sudden flash of blue energy burst from its sides. The drones exploded instantly, shattered into bright sparks in the darkness of space. The aliens froze in shock. "What weapon was that?" someone shouted. "No idea, Commander. Nothing in our database matches this." The alien leader stepped closer to the window and watched the human ship. It moved with precision and confidence. It did not act like a weak, confused species. It acted like a predator. The human ship sent a message directly to the alien flagship. The voice was calm, cold, and fearless. "You made a mistake choosing Earth." Silence filled the alien command room. The human voice continued. "Turn back. This is your only warning." The aliens laughed at the message. They believed humans were bluffing, but they were about to learn the truth. The human ship aimed its forward cannon. A small sphere of blue gravity energy formed at the tip. "Is that a weapon?" an officer asked nervously. Then the sphere launched. It didn't hit the alien ship, but space itself shook. Waves rippled through the void, bending starlight like water. The aliens stared in horror. They had never seen such a weapon. They had truly chosen the wrong world. And this was only the beginning. Hook, as the alien fleet tries to recover, they detect something even more shocking. Another signal coming from Earth, far stronger and far darker than the first one. The alien fleet drifted in silence as the shockwave faded. Their scanners blinked with warnings they had never seen before. Systems rebooted. Officers whispered nervously. The commander stood frozen, staring at the place where space had ripped like fabric. The human ship hovered calmly, its engines glowing like blue fire, watching him like a hunter waiting for the next move. Before the aliens could recover, something strange happened. Their communication screens flickered. A new signal appeared. It was coming from Earth, but it was not from a human ship. It was stronger, sharper, and filled with a type of energy the aliens did not recognize. "Another human transmission?" one officer asked. "No," the commander whispered. "This feels different." The signal expanded, shaking the alien warship's core. Their lights dimmed. The engines struggled. The temperature inside the ship dropped suddenly. Cold mist formed on the metal walls. Everyone felt something unnatural moving through the air, something old, something powerful. On Earth, deep beneath the oceans, inside an ancient facility forgotten even by humans themselves, massive machines came alive. Rust fell from huge gears. Long dormant lights flickered with a strange golden glow. The ground trembled as if something enormous was waking up after thousands of years. The new signal reached space, passing straight through the alien defenses. It wrapped around the alien ship like invisible chains. Their sensors screamed, "Commander, our systems are locking. We cannot move." "Shut it down," the commander ordered. "We can't. Something on Earth is overriding everything." Inside the alien ship, fear grew like fire. This was no longer a simple invasion. This was something else, something the galaxy had warned about but never confirmed. The humans had awakened an ancient defense. On Earth, humans were equally shocked. Scientists everywhere received the signal too, but none of them understood what it was. Governments scrambled to decode it. Military commanders begged for answers, but no one had any clue. They only knew one thing. It was powerful. As the alien ship struggled, the human ship slowly advanced. Its dark metal surface reflected the alien light. It moved with perfect control, as if guided by something more than human hands. Inside the alien war room, tension grew unbearable. "Commander, if this continues, our ship will collapse. Find a way to break free." "We cannot. Gravity fields around us are changing angle every second. It's like something is trying to pull us toward Earth." The alien commander slammed his fist on the console. "Impossible. No primitive species can do this." But the officer beside him spoke with shaking voice. "Commander, what if they are not primitive?" The human defense ship stopped firing. It simply floated in front of the alien fleet, blocking their path like a silent guardian. Then a final message came through, stronger than any broadcast before. A deep, calm human voice said, "Do not push Earth." The aliens trembled. The message felt like a warning from a giant. The human ship suddenly activated a new weapon. A ring of bright blue light formed around its hull, spinning faster and faster. Sparks of energy jumped across its surface. The aliens panicked. "What is it doing now?" an officer cried. The commander stared with wide eyes. "It is preparing for a full activation." The alien sensors detected a rising energy spike, far higher than anything they had ever recorded. This weapon was not meant to destroy ships. It was meant to destroy fleets. On Earth, humans watched helplessly as their secret defense ship prepared for something they had never tested. They didn't know if it would work. They didn't know if it would even survive its own power. The world held its breath. The alien commander swallowed hard. "We must retreat." "We cannot," an officer said weakly. "We are trapped." The gravity field around the alien fleet tightened. Their hulls groaned under the pressure. One small ship cracked, sending sparks flying. Panic spread instantly. Soldiers ran. Engineers screamed for solutions that didn't exist. Earth watched the alien fleet break under the pressure of a weapon humans themselves did not fully understand. The human ship powered up to its final stage. Blue shadows danced across its dark surface. The ring of light expanded outward, touching the darkness of space like a sunrise made of lightning. Then everything stopped. Silence. No one could move. No one could speak. No one could breathe. The human ship had reached full charge. The alien commander felt his heart slow. His voice was barely a whisper. "If that weapon fires, we will not survive." The human ship sent one last message. "Final warning. Leave our world." The tension inside the alien ship reached breaking point. Officers begged the commander to surrender. Soldiers dropped to their knees. Systems blinked red. The commander knew the truth. If they stayed, they would die. He finally raised his hand. "Deactivate weapons. Power down shields. Send a message to Earth." Everyone held their breath. The commander closed his eyes and spoke the words that would change everything. "We surrender." But before the message could fully transmit, the alien ship detected something else. Another energy signature coming from behind Earth's moon. Larger, older, stronger. The scanner struggled to read it. The officers stared in horror. "Commander, something else is coming." The alien commander felt the blood drain from his face as the sensors tried to focus on a new object emerging from behind the moon. The readings flickered, glitched, and then shut down completely. Whatever was coming toward them was beyond their technology's ability to understand. In the human ship, alarms also began to ring. The AI paused its weapon sequence. Even it did not recognize the new signature. For the first time since its activation, the AI sounded uncertain. Unknown object detected. Origin not human. Not alien classification. Impossible. On Earth. Every radar, telescope, and secret military satellite locked onto the same spot. News agencies reported strange flashes near the moon. Scientists scrambled to understand what they were seeing. Military leaders demanded answers, but no one had any. The object moved with slow, steady motion. It did not drift. It did not wobble. It moved as if it knew exactly where it was going. Its speed was calm but confident, like a predator approaching prey. The alien commander whispered, Is it another human weapon? No, an officer answered, shaking. This energy, it's older, much older, far older than their ship or ours. As the object came closer, it passed through the faint light of the sun. Its shape finally became visible. It was not a ship. It looked like a massive stone structure, carved with glowing symbols that pulsed with bright golden light. It rotated slowly, as if following ancient patterns. The edges were sharp, clean, perfect. The entire structure looked like a monument drifting through space. The aliens stared at it with open fear. "Commander, this thing is not built. It is grown." The commander stepped back. Grown? By what? No idea. There is no life detected, and yet it moves. The alien warship shook again as the unknown structure emitted a soft hum. A golden wave spread across space, gentle but powerful. The vibration passed through everything. The alien ships, the human ship, even Earth itself. For a moment, everyone froze. Every human heart skipped a beat. Every alien felt their lungs tighten. Every machine flickered. Then it stopped. The golden structure halted between the alien fleet and the human defense ship. The human ship's AI spoke again, sounding uneasy. New signal detected. Language undecipherable. Intent unknown. The aliens watched as a beam of golden light extended from the structure toward the human ship. It did not damage it. It scanned it slowly, almost respectfully. Then the beam shifted toward the alien flagship. Instinctively, the aliens raised shields. The beam passed through them like smoke. It scanned their ship as well, reading every system, every weapon, every piece of information they possessed. The alien commander felt his heart race. What does it want from us? I don't think it wants anything, an officer whispered. It is just watching. The golden structure dimmed for a moment. Then tiny points of light formed around it like stars. The points connected, forming a pattern, an ancient symbol that neither humans nor aliens had ever seen. The pattern pulsed. Then a voice echoed across space. It was not human. It was not alien. It was something entirely different. Soft but immense. Calm but powerful. A whisper, yet it shook every mind that heard it. Balance must be restored. The alien commander gasped. What does that mean? No one had an answer. On Earth, scientists panicked. Religious groups prayed. Governments demanded explanations. But the signal avoided all human attempts to trace it. Inside human defense ship, the AI tried to translate, but failed. The voice repeated, balance must be restored. Then the golden structure began to rotate again. The symbols glowed brighter. A second wave formed, stronger than before. This time, the wave shook the alien ships, bending their hulls. Their engines screamed under pressure. Commander, our hull is cracking, a soldier cried. At the same time, the human ship's blue energy ring began to destabilize. Sparks shot out. Panels shook. The AI reported a warning. Critical overload. Unknown interference. Energy conflict detected. The alien commander looked at the golden structure and finally realized the truth. This thing, it is judging us. The officers turned toward him in horror, judging both sides. Humans and aliens, as if it was deciding who deserved to stay. The golden structure tilted slightly. A new beam formed, this time aimed directly at Earth. Panic exploded everywhere. Humans ran outside and stared at the sky, confused and terrified. Military leaders screamed on radios. Scientists begged the human command ship to react. The AI responded quickly, preparing counterfield. But the beam reached Earth's upper atmosphere and spread like fog, covering half the planet in seconds. Yet it was not destructive. It did not burn. It did not harm. It scanned. It searched. It seemed to be looking for something. The human ship forced its engines to full power and placed itself between the beam and Earth, even though it was only a scan. The alien commander watched, amazed. They are protecting their world, even against an unknown power. The golden structure responded. The beam intensified. The human ship's hull groaned under the pressure. Cracks formed. The AI reported damage levels rising. but the ship did not move. The beam dimmed, then vanished. The golden structure paused. For a few seconds, everything was silent. Human, alien, machine, everything waited. Then the voice returned, deeper than before. One world stands. The other must choose. The alien commander whispered, "Choose what?" The golden structure turned toward the alien fleet. Its symbols burned brighter. "Choose your purpose." The commander swallowed hard, realizing the meaning. This ancient force was not here to help humans. It was not here to help aliens. It was here because something bigger was happening. Earth had awakened something old, and the galaxy was no longer the same. The golden structure rotated slowly once more and began charging a new energy wave, far stronger than anything it released before. The hallway outside the command chamber felt strangely quiet, as if the ship itself was holding its breath. Captain Wren kept walking, his boots making soft metallic echoes. He could still feel the weight of the message Earth had sent, and the shock of watching the alien delegates lose their calm. Behind him, young Officer Mila followed closely, her hand shaking slightly. She was trying to hide it, but Wren saw everything. When they reached the chamber doors, they stopped. On the other side, the three alien envoys waited, nervous, confused, and scared. Not of the humans, but of what the humans represented. Wren pushed the doors open, stepping into the room with the same controlled confidence Earth was becoming famous for. The envoys stood immediately. Their tall, insect-like bodies stiffened, their wings trembling. The leader, Zartil, stared at Wren with dark, uncertain eyes. "Captain, your world, why did it respond with such certainty?" he asked. Wren took a breath. He needed to speak carefully, because every word could change the course of the galaxy. "Because you chose Earth," he said simply. "And now you will see what that means." Zartil shifted nervously. "But Earth is a death world. No species survives long there. We predicted chaos, fear, retreat." Wren gave a small, unreadable smile. "Yes, Earth is a death world. But you misunderstood something important. You assumed a dangerous world makes a weak species. You assumed we would run. You assumed we would fear you. That was your mistake." A deep silence spread across the room. Then a sharp beeping sound echoed from Mila's wrist console. "Captain," she said, her voice suddenly tight. "We're receiving a distress signal from Sector 9. It's one of theirs." She turned the display around. A grainy hologram of a damaged alien cruiser flickered. Smoke, sparks, screams. And through it all, a massive shadow moving across the screen. Something with too many limbs and glowing eyes. Zartil gasped. "No, that sector was secure. That creature should not be there." Wren leaned closer, studying the shape calmly. "A predator? A nightmare," Zartil whispered. "Our armies fled from it. We lost entire colonies to that monster. We sent you that region because we thought Earth would fall first. We thought it would buy us time." Mila looked up sharply. "So you used us as bait?" Zartil lowered his head, wings drooping. "We thought you would die quickly, and the monster would remain there." Wren stepped toward the envoys, his voice turning cold. "We don't die quickly, and we don't forget betrayal." The aliens froze. "But," Wren continued, "we also don't abandon challenge, or an enemy, or an opportunity." He turned to Mila. Her eyes were already wide, understanding the silent order forming. "Prepare the fleet," he said. "We will enter Sector 9. Zartil's wings trembled violently. "Captain, you cannot. That creature destroyed thousands of our soldiers." Wren stopped and faced him. His expression was calm, too calm. "You attacked Earth," he said. "You misjudged us. Now we will show you why that was a fatal mistake." He walked past them toward the exit. Mila hurried behind him, adrenaline rising. She could feel something shifting in the air, a new tension, a new danger, and a rising storm no one in the galaxy was prepared for. But before Wren stepped out, he looked back at the envoys one last time. "Send a message to your High Council," he said. "Tell them Earth is moving." The doors slid shut behind him with a loud metallic thud. Outside, alarms were already going off. Ships powering up, troops preparing. Engines roaring alive. The entire human fleet awakening like a sleeping giant. Slow, powerful, unstoppable. Mila caught up to Ren. "Captain, do you think we can actually beat that thing?" Ren didn't slow down. "I don't know if we can beat it," he said, "but I know we will face it. And whatever it is, it has no idea what humans do when someone tries to hunt us." A voice crackled through the speakers above them. "Attention, all units. Prepare for immediate warp. Mission code, Death World Protocol." Mila's heart almost stopped. That protocol was never used. It meant only one thing. Earth was done waiting. As the ship shook and the lights dimmed, Ren finally allowed a small, dangerous smile. "Brace yourself," he said quietly. "Everything is about to change." Warp engines roared to life, and the humans launched toward the nightmare that even the galaxy's strongest fear to fight, ready to face it head-on. But waiting in the dark of Sector 9, something else had already sensed them coming. The shuttle's metal doors slowly opened, releasing a coldness of air that rolled across the launch bay floor. General Hale stepped out first, still holding the strange alien device in his hand. His eyes were sharp, focused, and a little troubled. Behind him, the Earth defense officers followed, whispering quietly about what they had just witnessed in the forest. Nobody had forgotten the explosion, the sudden pulse of light, or the way the device seemed to activate on its own. Everyone felt it. Something had changed. Inside the command center, alarms were no longer sounding, but the tension had not faded. Screens flickered with foreign symbols, the same symbols that had appeared on the alien device. Every technician was on edge, typing fast, trying to decode them. General Hale placed the device on the central table. The moment it touched the surface, the lights dimmed and a holographic map shot upward, bright, spinning, and filled with thousands of glowing worlds. A low murmur rippled through the room. "It's a star map," one officer whispered, but Hale raised a hand. "Not just a map. This is a warning." The hologram shifted. Lines connected stars like a web. Some glowed red, some blinked sharply, as if sending a silent message across the galaxy. Before anyone could speak, the device projected an image, a towering alien figure made of smoke-like light. Its voice was deep and metallic, but the translation system decoded it automatically. "To the inhabitants of Earth you were chosen." Everyone froze. Even Hale's jaw tightened. The hologram continued, almost calm, almost confident. "Your world holds what we seek. Prepare for evaluation. Resistance will be corrected." And just like that, the hologram vanished. Silence filled the command room until a sudden jolt shook the entire base. The screens flickered again, now showing multiple objects entering the solar system at impossible speed. A young technician gasped. "Sir, they're here." Hale's voice stayed steady. "How many?" The answer came with a trembling breath. "At least 30 ships, no more. They're forming a blockade around Earth." A hook of fear wrapped around every person in the room. This was no scouting mission. This was an invasion. Outside, sirens started blaring again. Soldiers rushed across the base. Vehicles moved into position, and the sky above began to tremble with distant light. A formation of Earth's defense ships launched upward, streaking through the dark clouds like silver arrows. General Hale watched the rising ships and whispered to himself, "So this is their mistake, choosing Earth." But he knew something the aliens didn't. Humanity had changed long ago. They had united under pressure. They had built weapons not to conquer, but to survive. And somewhere inside Earth defenses lay the secrets of the Deathworlders. Humans engineered by evolution to adapt, endure, and fight harder than any species known. Another tremor shook the ground. Everyone looked at the screens. The alien fleet had fully arrived, and one giant ship stepped forward, a colossal vessel larger than any human city. Then a beam of light shot from its core, scanning Earth like a giant eye. The technician whispered, "They're scanning for the artifact, the one we found." Hale tightened his fists. "They will not take anything from us." But before he could give an order, the alien device on the table activated again. This time, the symbols flashed rapidly, warning them of something much bigger. And then the message appeared. If they obtain the artifact, Earth will fall. A cold breeze flowed through the room. Everyone felt it. A new mystery, a new danger, and a new enemy, one that knew too much about Earth. General Hale turned sharply. Prepare the evacuation lockdown. Secure the artifact. And bring me Dr. Aiden Cross immediately. His second-in-command blinked. The xenologist? But he's been missing for months. Hale replied, voice firm, exactly, and now we know why. Outside, thunder cracked across the sky, but it was not weather. Earth's defense cannons were charging. The galaxy had finally noticed Earth, and Earth was about to answer. General Hale stood at the center of the command room, but for the first time that day, he felt truly powerless. The screen surrounding him now showed something far worse than an invasion. They revealed a secret he never expected. Dr. Aiden Cross alive, and sending a coded distress signal from somewhere inside the alien blockade itself. The signal was broken, full of static, but one sentence repeated clearly every few seconds. Do not let them activate the core or Earth dies. The room fell silent as everyone processed those words. The artifact, the one they found in the forest, was not just ancient, it was part of a larger system. A system the aliens were desperate to complete, even if it meant destroying Earth. A sudden blast rocked the base. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lights flickered. A tech officer shouted. Enemy ground drones detected. They're landing ships near our perimeter. Another officer added, voice rising. They're not firing at us. They're searching. They're tracking the artifact's energy signal. General Hale knew what that meant. If the aliens reached the base, Earth's last defense would be gone. He slammed his hand on the table. Move the artifact to sublevel 0. Maximum shield protocol. Now! Soldiers rushed into motion, rolling the artifact inside an armor containment unit. Its blue glow flickered eerily, as if it sensed danger coming. But the danger was already here. Outside the base, alien drones, 6-legged metallic machines with glowing red eyes, crawled across the ground at terrifying speed. They were silent, coordinated, and hunting. Above them, scout ships hovered low, scanning every inch of the terrain. The base trembled as the first drone fired, melting through a steel blockade like butter. Hale grabbed a radio. All squads, prepare for breach. Keep them away from the artifact at all costs. Inside the base, soldiers to positions, rifles locked and ready. The hall lights turned red as emergency sirens wailed. The atmosphere was thick with fear and adrenaline. Then something unexpected happened. The artifact began to pulse, slowly, rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. And suddenly, the hologram activated by itself. No one touched the device. A figure formed again, but this time it wasn't the alien commander. It was a different species entirely. Taller, more ancient, with glowing white eyes. Its voice echoed through the entire base. Earth was chosen not for weakness, but for potential. Everyone froze. The hologram continued. But the enemy seeks to rebuild what must never be rebuilt. If they join the core pieces, the galaxy will fall. General Hale stepped closer. Why Earth? Why our planet? The hologram's eyes dimmed, almost sad. Because your kind can resist what others cannot. Only Deathworlders can endure the core's power. Before Hale could ask more, the hologram vanished, and alarms blared again. Sir, the enemy has breached the outer wall. A soldier shouted. The lights flickered harshly as explosions echoed through the hallway. Walls shook. Dust fell. The alien drones were now inside the base, crawling across the ceiling and walls like metallic spiders. Gunfire erupted from every direction. The soldiers fought bravely, but the drones were many, too many, and still more alien ships descended outside, moving closer, tightening their grip around Earth. Hale grabbed his weapon and ran toward the containment elevator. If the artifact fell into enemy hands, everything would end. He reached the elevator and slammed his hand on the panel. Send it down. Sublevel 0 sealed. But just as the doors began to close, an alien drone leapt forward, crashing into the hallway with a shriek of metal. It fired a burning red beam straight at the containment unit. A soldier dove forward, pushing the unit inside the elevator, taking the beam directly through his chest. He fell instantly. The door slammed shut. The artifact was safe, for now, but Hale wasn't. 5 drones cornered him, their red eyes glowing like burning coals. They raised their weapons. Hale raised his rifle, breathing hard, preparing for the end, and then the base shook with thunderous roar. Not an explosion. A landing. A massive ship had touched down just outside. Every drone paused for a split second, as if listening. Then, a message came through Earth's communication system. Deep, harsh, and unmistakably alien. Humans of Earth, hand over the core piece, or we begin planetary cleansing. The threat echoed across every speaker. Every soldier felt their stomach drop, but Hale stood tall, panting, blood on his uniform. He whispered through clenched teeth. They chose Earth, and now they'll regret it. Because deep below, in sublevel 0, the artifact had awakened, its heartbeat growing louder, brighter, stronger. Something was coming. Something ancient. Something powerful. And Earth was at the center of it all. The base was shaking so violently now that dust rained from the ceiling in thick clouds. Every alarm, every red light, every vibrating wall told the same story. Earth was seconds away from a disaster no one fully understood. But beneath all the noise, there was something else. A pulse. A deep, steady thump that echoed to the entire underground structure. It was coming from sublevel 0. General Hale sprinted down the steel corridor, boots pounding against the floor. Soldiers rushed past him in the opposite direction, carrying wounded comrades and firing at drones crawling along the walls. Sparks flew. The air smelled of smoke and burning metal. But Hale couldn't stop. He had to reach the artifact. When he finally reached the final elevator, he slammed his hand on the panel, but the doors already stood open, flickering with blue light. The guards stationed there were gone. Their weapons lay scattered on the ground, and the room beyond the elevator was glowing. Hale stepped inside slowly, gripping his rifle tight. The artifact hovered in the center of the chamber, no longer inside its container. It floated above the floor, spinning, glowing brighter with every rotation. Strange symbols flashed around it like fireflies. And then, without warning, the pulse in the artifact shot outward, a pressure wave that forced Hale to his knees. The air shimmered, his vision blurred. A deep voice filled the chamber. The core awakens. Hale spun, expecting to see the hologram again. But this time, it wasn't projection. A tall figure stepped out of light. Humanoid, armored, breathing hard as if he had just escaped something. His armor was cracked and scorched, and strange blue circuitry pulsed across his chest. General Hale's heart nearly stopped. It was Dr. Aiden Cross. Alive. Hale stepped forward. Cross? How? Where? But Cross held up a shaking hand. No time. Listen to me. His voice was urgent, strained, as if he had carried a terrible weight alone. These aliens, the ones attacking Earth, they are called the Sovereigns. They are not explorers. They are not conquerors. They are collectors. Hale frowned. Collectors of what? Cross pointed at the artifact. The core pieces. That object is one of them. They need all 7 to rebuild something called the Ascendant Engine, a weapon that can rewrite the biology of an entire planet. Hale's stomach twisted. We're right. Cross nodded slowly. It can erase species. Entire worlds. In minutes. The lights flickered violently as another explosion rocked the base. Dust fell from the ceiling. Echoes of gunfire grew louder outside the chamber. Cross stepped closer. His eyes were sharp, tired, and full of terror. They chose Earth because they believe humans, Deathworlders, can power the engine. If they take the core piece, the machine will activate, and humanity becomes fuel. Hale felt his blood run cold. So how do we stop them? Cross swallowed hard. We don't stop them here. The core is already activated. The only way to protect Earth is to take it off the planet. Before Hale could respond, another tremor shook the chamber. A loud metallic screech echoed from the hallway. Drones approaching fast. Cross grabbed Hale's arm. General, listen. The artifact chose Earth for a reason. It can bond only with a species strong enough to survive its energy. He stepped closer to the floating artifact, and it has already chosen a host. Hale blinked. A host? Who? Cross turned, slowly, almost fearfully. You. Before Hale could even react, the artifact pulsed once, twice, and then shot a beam of blue energy straight into his chest. His vision exploded with light. His mind filled with images. Stars collapsing, worlds dying, galaxies twisting into spirals. He felt pressure, heat, cold, electricity, memories that weren't his. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. And then everything stopped. The artifact dimmed. Hale collapsed to one knee, gasping. Cross knelt beside him. I'm sorry, but you were the only one the Corps accepted. Hale looked down at his hands. They were glowing faintly blue. Before he could speak, the chamber doors exploded inward. 5 sovereign drones crawled through the smoke, weapons raised, red eyes blazing. Cross shouted, "Get back!" But Hale stood up, slowly, steadily, and the glow on his skin intensified. The drones fired, and the beam stopped midair, frozen, suspended in shimmering blue energy. The soldiers watching from the hallway gasped. General Hale looked at his hands in shock. He hadn't blocked the beams. The artifact had. Cross whispered, voice trembling. The Corps has fused with you. General, you're its guardian now. The drones recharged, preparing to fire again. Hale raised his hand instinctively. A blast of blue energy erupted from his palm, ripping through the entire hallway. The drones dissolved instantly into molten shards. Silence followed. Then Cross said the words that changed everything. General, Earth cannot win this war. Not like this. But with you, we can take the fight to them. Hale stared at the glowing corridor, feeling power humming beneath his skin. He didn't choose this. But now, the galaxy had chosen him. Above them, the alien fleet tightened its grip around Earth. And below, in the trembling chamber, a new weapon had awakened. One the Sovereigns never expected. One that would change everything. The chamber was shaking harder now, as if the entire Earth base struggled to hold itself together. The blue glow around General Hale's hands slowly faded, but the warmth of the artifact's power still pulsed under his skin like a second heartbeat. He felt stronger, faster, aware of everything around him. He could sense the movement of the drones above, the hum of alien ships in orbit, even the stress points inside the base walls. It was overwhelming, but he didn't have the luxury to collapse. Dr. Cross grabbed his arm. General, we have minutes at best. The Sovereigns know the Corps has bonded. They will come for you now. Hale steadied his breathing. Then we leave. What's the plan? Cross pointed to a reinforced passage at the back of the chamber. There's an old escape tunnel that leads to the mountain ridge. If we reach the surface, there's a stealth shuttle hidden there. Small, fast, and off-grid. We can break through their blockade before they detect our signal. Hale nodded. Then let's move. But as they stepped into the tunnel, a heavy metallic rumble echoed above. The lights flickered. The walls shook. Cross froze. They're bringing in their heavy units. Hale frowned. Heavy units? Before Cross could answer, the tunnel ceiling cracked open like paper, and something dropped to the debris. A towering machine, 3 times the size of a human, landed on the steel floor with a ground-shaking thud. It stood on 2 reinforced legs, its arms ending in plasma cannons, its head glowing with bright red sensors. A Sovereign Hunter-class mech. Hale's jaw tightened. That looks like their version of a tank. The Hunters, Cross whispered. They don't capture. They erase. The mech locked onto them with a loud metallic click. A red targeting line slid across Hale's chest. Move! Cross shouted. The mech fired. A massive beam tore through the tunnel, melting steel and concrete. Hale grabbed Cross and dove behind a support pillar as the entire passage filled with smoke and fire. Hale felt the heat slam against him, but the artifact inside him reacted instantly. A faint blue shell flickered around his body, absorbing the brunt of the blast. Cross stared in awe. You shouldn't have survived that. Hale didn't answer. His eyes were fixed on the mech, stepping closer, its footsteps heavy like falling hammers. He could feel the artifact humming, urging him forward. He stepped out from behind the pillar. The mech locked onto him again. Cross screamed, Hale, don't! But Hale raised his glowing hand. Instinctively, as if it wasn't him but the artifact guiding the movement, the mech fired another massive beam, and Hale caught it. The beam slammed against an invisible shield, bending around his hand like molten light. The recoil pushed Hale back 2 steps, but he held firm, blue energy swirling around his arm. The mech paused, its processors confused. Hale clenched his fist, forcing the beam aside. The red energy crashed against the tunnel wall, exploding in sparks. Then Hale thrust his hand forward. A wave of blue energy blasted from his palm, hitting the mech like a thunderstrike. The machine staggered, its armor cracking. Hale stepped forward again, power burning through him. Stronger now, sharper. The mech tried to retreat. Too late. Hale slammed his hand against its core plate. A blast of blue light erupted. The mech exploded into pieces, metal shards raining across the tunnel. The shock wave echoed deep into the base. Cross stood frozen, his eyes wide. "General, your power is growing. Fast. Too fast." Hale looked down at his hands. The glow had changed, brighter now, almost alive. "I can feel everything." "Exactly," Cross whispered. "That's why we have to leave Earth immediately. If the core keeps feeding you energy while you're on the planet, it will overload, and your body won't survive." Hale paused. He hadn't expected that. "So this power will kill me?" Cross hesitated. "Yes, if we stay." Another tremor shook the tunnel. Debris fell from the ceiling. Distant explosions echoed from the upper levels. More drones, more mechs, more sovereigns. Hale took a deep breath. "Then we move. Fast." Together they ran down the tunnel, moving deeper underground. Lights flickered overhead. The walls vibrated. Every sound, every tremor, every shift of metal above warned them. The sovereigns were tearing through the base, hunting the core, hunting Hale. After several minutes, they reached a thick steel door marked with faded red paint. Cross slammed his hand on the console. The door slid open with a grinding roar, revealing a long, narrow elevator shaft filled with cold air and darkness. Cross pointed upward. "We climb. The exit is at the top." Hale nodded, gripping the ladder. But then, a sharp, piercing alarm echoed through the shaft. The metal shook. Dust rained down. A deep mechanical roar bellowed from above. Hale froze. Cross's face turned white. "What now?" Hale asked. Cross swallowed hard. "That's not a drone. That's not a mech." He looked up the shaft, fear settling in his voice. "That's a sovereign sentinel." Hale felt a cold shiver run down his spine. "What's a sentinel?" Cross whispered, voice trembling. "Not a machine, a sovereign commander. They're elite. They're strongest. If the hunters erase." He looked up again. The sentinels exterminate. Above them, huge metallic claws gripped the shaft walls. Red light flooded the darkness. The sentinel was coming down, and it was coming for Hale. The final battle for escape had begun.